All right. Hi, everybody. It's Jenny J, 1911, and we are here for our first birthday. Woo! And Affordable Armory is our first special guest in our lineup of special guests. He is not waiting. He has his ice cream ready to go. I will tell you all that I do have cake, so we will be lighting our birthday candle and cutting cake in a little bit. So if anybody has a special snack they want to grab and eat at the same time, go grab it really fast. So first things first, I want to give a super special shout out to Cowboy Jeff 1911. He is here with us. This is dedication, guys. Okay. This man apparently is at the hospital right now with his brand new baby girl and mommy, but he is tuned into Jenny J 1911. I don't know. I guess poor mommy. She's probably like, Jeff, what are you doing? So anyway, congratulations, Cowboy Jeff, and to the baby and the mommy. Welcome to the world, baby. You are very blessed and lucky to have an awesome dad like Cowboy Jeff 1911. So, all right. So we are here with Affordable Armory. And Affordable Armory, before you let all your ice cream melt, I am going to go ahead and I have my cake here. I'm going to show everybody. Got to stick my candle in. Okay, so here is my birthday cake for our first birthday. We are approaching toddler stage now, and I'm getting sprinkles everywhere. So nice. might have to clean that up later. But anyway, all right. Here's my cake. I'm gonna go ahead, and YouTube can't take this away from me. We can't show a gun, but we can show a birthday cake with a lit candle, right? All right, so
I sure hope so.
I know. I'm gonna blow out my candle. I'm gonna make a really big wish. Okay, there we go. All right,
yay!
So yay!
I'm not gonna sing, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Affordable Armory, aren't you gonna do the honors and sing us a song? So, all right. He's like, no, I'm too busy drinking my water and eating my ice cream.
Maybe your next guest can do that.
Yeah, that's right. Even my special guests tonight do not know who the other guests are. So
that's true. I have no idea who's coming on.
No, this has been a well-preserved secret. So, all right. I've got my little piece of cake here. How adorable, seriously, is that little tiny piece of cake? Like, it's almost too cute to eat, and I'm going to let my husband come over and get his piece because, I don't want to make a mess. So. All right. So anyway, now the cake has been served at Affordable Armory. The ice cream has been served. Yeah. Tell me, what have you been up to?
So, well, before we get into that, first of all, congratulations on 1 year.
Thank you.
Because I don't know if you're having anyone else on here who does do YouTube videos, but it's a huge, significant thing to make it a whole year and still be doing videos. Most people give up because they're not getting enough followers, or it's not as fun as they thought it was, or they realize how much hard work it is. And guys, if you don't know that, I'll tell you, Jenny will probably tell you, it is work. It's like having another job.
It really is. And by the time you edit the videos, that's, the recording to me is the fun part. The editing is the nitty gritty, not as fun part.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you.
Way, but.
No, that's exactly it. I love making the content, but the editing it, the uploading it, the promoting it, like that stuff sucks. I hate it.
Yeah. And the talking, I think, what I love best is what comes with the video making is the talking to the other gun people. Mm-hmm. And, and I'm sure you can attest to this too. You meet so many great people doing this, people that you wouldn't ordinarily have contact with necessarily. So, we've had the ability to be able to travel to a few places and meet some people we wouldn't have met otherwise. And even the people we've met online. Now, I've never met Affordable Armory in person,
No,
but I feel
hopefully
like,
you'll be at NRA, right?
yeah.
So
Yep.
we'll have to hook up there because
Yes.
I want to go.
Yeah. And that's in Indy this year. So it's going to
Mhm.
be super easy. I think for more people to get to. I feel like it's a more central location. So I feel like more people might be able to get to that one. Maybe we should plan our group shoot for that particular weekend, might be
Yeah,
able to get everybody together. So
yeah.
that would be a lot of fun. So, okay. So anyway, back to you. You are busily trying to come up with new content, get new content pushed out. And if you guys haven't gone over to Affordable Armory's channel, make sure you do that and hit like and subscribe. Please and thank you.
Yeah. So I'm busy catching up on videos, and most of it is again what we just talked about. I hate editing, so I've got tons of content that's ready to go. I just have to sit down and edit it and upload it and publish it. And
Right.
but that's really the gist of it. I've got so much stuff laying around that, oh yeah, I need to make a video on that thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that's kind of where I'm at. But I did get a video out, a full length video out this week, and there's one ready to go for next week.
Good.
And I've also been trying to do shorts because that's apparently YouTube's new thing. They
Yeah.
recently monetized it like the same way that regular channels are monetized, and so there's actually kind of an incentive to actually do it. They're really pushing those hard, and so I've been making a lot of YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of easy to do.
It is. Yeah.
A minute or less, and
Right. Well, and the problem was what we noticed last night. I had made that short just where I was in St. Genevieve and I was announcing, like reminding everybody about the show tonight. And even my own husband had to go to my channel and dig through my videos to be able to find it. So sometimes even those little things don't pop up.
It didn't. It wasn't in the shorts feed. Yeah, it was in the regular feed. And I don't know if that's because of the way you uploaded it or what. But
yeah, who knows? Whoever knows? Because I uploaded it as a short. I intentionally recorded it as less than a minute. But yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what happens or how they do any of that. But you know what? We've been here a year. We can make it another, 10, right?
Hopefully.
Oh my gosh.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I forgot. I also got myself this. So there we go. Now
it's officially a party now.
Yeah. And I have water in my cup. So
there you go.
So what about classes? What are you doing? See, look at Affordable Armory's cup too. Very nice touch.
Yep. Gotta have that.
What have you been doing for classes?
So I've actually been I've been doing a lot of training myself, honestly. I've been going and taking classes. I took 2 pistol classes in January. I took 2 medical classes in January. I took an assistant instructor class online. That was that was about 6 hours. And then let's see, next month I'm going to where am I going next? I don't know. I'm in another pistol class next month, and then I'm going to South Carolina in March.
Wow.
So that's been my focus, is going and getting training. And then of course teaching my own classes as well. But,
right, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I mean, you're still teaching your own classes on top of that. So
yeah. And so we're actually going through some changes at work that it's going to allow us to do more stuff. And so I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to be able to do some new classes, some stuff we weren't able to do before. So should be good.
That will be. Yeah. And we have to always, I feel like being in the YouTube universe, we're even instructors there, right? Because even this morning, I think I had a comment on my Prodigy field strip video where somebody said, hey, thank you for this video because I'm getting my new prodigy. Sorry about your luck, but I'm getting my new prodigy this next week. And so, but if that little kind of thing can help somebody else with their gun, I mean, we're still, that's kind of always the bent I take on these videos is I want them to be instructional, whether it's, I'm teaching people about the history of a gun or how to use a gun or how to strip a gun down or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's channels out there that they blow stuff up and they throw the gun in the mud and whatever. And it's like, okay, that's entertainment. That's not practical stuff, right? Let's do what the normal, average, everyday person would do with the gun. Let's go put a box of 50 rounds through it and talk about how it feels in our hands and were we able to shoot it accurately and that type of stuff. Like there's no need to go and destroy a gun for the sake of whatever.
And, like you said, it's entertaining, but at the same time, like there was one where we watched a brand new, I think was it a Colt Python or something, I don't remember, where they filled it with cement and everything else and tried to see if it will still shoot. And it's like, and they blow these guns apart. And it's like, I'd be happy to just have this brand new gun to shoot.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There's that too. Like
exactly. I mean, I don't know, maybe someday our channels will be big enough, Affordable Armory, that we can, toy with the notion of destroying stuff too. And like the gun safes, that's the one that really like.
Oh, when they purposely break the safes?
Yeah. When they blow up the safe and I'm like, those things are so expensive.
I'm gonna run over this thing with my car and see what happens. Like, why?
Exactly.
No one's gonna do that.
I know. Oh my gosh. Well, okay, Affordable Armory. I have my next guest waiting in the wing. And so before I tell you goodbye, I want to announce to everybody, we actually have a couple of contests going on tonight. So we're going to have a hat and a cup to give away. One person will win each. Now, if you win one, you're not eligible to win the other, but it's going to be a little trivia contest. So my husband's sitting off in the wings moderating. He is watching the comments, and here's what's going to happen. I'm going to ask a trivia question. Okay. One trivia question is gun related and one trivia question is Jenny J 1911 related. So I'm going to ask the question and then everybody can type in their answer. The first person chronologically to answer the right answer will get to pick the first prize, whether they want the hat or the cup. And then we'll do another question in a little bit and that person will get the other prize. Okay. All right. So Affordable Armory, thank you so much for being on here. Absolutely. And I really appreciate it. Like I appreciate the fact that you've been so supportive of this channel and you've been a great friend and inspiration for this channel. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I love supporting the community. So that's,
awesome.
Whatever I can do to help out.
Yeah. Well, we're all in it together, right? We kind of all have the same common goal at the end. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, Affordable Armory.
All right.
I will talk to you later.
Yeah, I'll be in the chat too. So
awesome. Hi, yep. So. And you know what? You're eligible to win the prizes too. So that's why I'm going to do it between guests. So before I let my next guest in, and I'm not telling you guys who it is yet, but before I let him in, there's your hint. I'm going to ask my first question. Okay. So here is my first question. What was the first caliber produced in the Colt single action Army? What was the first caliber produced in the Colt single action Army? So, let's see if anybody.
No idea.
No idea.
4440.
So I'm gonna let My husband. I don't know what that was. That your phone?
My iPad. I'm getting ready to log in so I can watch when we get
Yeah,
off
exactly. Well, and I kind of figure everybody right now is probably Googling as fast as they can to find the correct answer. I'm not watching the comments. I'm going to let my next guest in. Okay, hopefully he's ready. He looks ready. He's looking
Bye.
quite dapper. Bye, Affordable Armory. Okay. Our next guest tonight is Mr. Bunning Viejo. Viejo's
Hey
in
guys,
the house.
how are we
And
doing, folks?
you know what, Walter, you were my second guest.
I was
So
right
it's
right
kinda
after that guy.
right after that guy, exactly. We have a winner. Keith Gregory got it, 44 Americans. So Keith Gregory, congratulations. It's so nice to have an assistant in the wings that can watch these comments for me. So Keith Gregory, what I need you to do, I need you to email me your address. Well, first of all, you got to tell me which one you want. So in the comments, tell me, do you want the hat or the cup? Okay. The cup looks like this. It's not this one though. It's a clean, unused one. And then the hat looks like this. So email me your mailing address. And my email is jennyj1911@usa.com. I'm going to post that right here in the comments. jennyj1911@usa.com. Okay. And I'm going to put that up on the screen. There we go. All right. So Keith Gregory, let me know which one you want. And then we will give away the other prize in a little bit. All right. So Viejo, thank you so much for being on this show. What have you been up to?
I have been up to plenty. You know, those I see a number of people out here in the side chat that I know very well. And we're mutual subscribers between myself and they and you, Jenny J. So we kind of all know each other, big family here, really. So currently I've got a couple things going on. I've had a project ongoing with 45 ACP, and it's a series that I'm working on. There is a very famous legacy cast bullet known as the Hensley and Gibbs number 68, which was developed by the company of the same name in the early 1940s. And it has become the most winning cast bullet in 45 ACP bullseye ever.
Really?
And so, yeah, so everybody and their brother who makes cast bullet molds for 45 ACP makes a clone or a similar bullet. It's a 200 grain semi-wad cutter bullet. And so I have 7 different molds from almost as many different companies that I'm putting together, only one of which really has any currently published load data. So the series is about, so I got this mold for a Hensley and Gibbs number 68 type bullet, but there's no load data. What do? I see in my Lyman cast bullet handbook, there's one for this particular bullet. Can I use that? And the answer is yes and no. And I'm telling you the yes part. So it's a big series. I cast 7 different bullets. I've got 1,000 bullets cast up, and we've gone into the dummy rounds. And right now we're looking at the load data that we're going to actually use and get the loading up. Then we're going to go do some chronograph work and some accuracy work. And the bottom line is, okay, you got this mold. Here's what you can actually really do with it. Here's some safe starting points.
Yeah.
That you can go use. So that's what I've been working on. It's a big project, lots of handwork and stuff to do. It's been fun. So I got a couple more pieces of that series. It's like 10 parts. It's a long deal. So that's kind of what I'm up to, along with the normal other, let's just make some ammo and go shoot and stuff.
Yeah, the best part, right?
yeah. Well, this is fun too. So it's been a lot of fun. So
yeah. So how did you? What was your inspiration or your reason? How did you come up with that series?
Oh, for doing this? Well, okay. So some people collect cars, you know, motorcycles, Indian arrowheads, fishing lures, you know, old gunpowder containers, you know, whatever. I have a pretty big collection of bullet molds. and some of which are these old Hensley and Gibbs molds that are coming up to being 100 years old now, and are noted as being some of the best bullet casting molds ever. They're just really a joy to have, and some of them are getting to be like Hensley. So I've got a couple of this iteration of their number 68, which means nothing other than it was like the 68th mold that they made or something. And I shoot a lot of them just because it's an accurate bullet. It's one that's easy to load. They work really well. It's designed for a 1911. And so I thought, well, you know, there's all of these other molds, and I constantly get questions. Well, I got this one from MP Molds over in Slovenia, or I have this RCBS mold that's almost the same, but not quite, or one from Seiko, who is owned by Redding. How do I load for this when there's no load data? So I thought, well, you know, I'm going to show you. So that's what that series is about. And I'm kind of like you, even though I'm not Viejo 1911, I really enjoy my 1911s. They're fun to shoot. They're a great caliber. The dynamics of the handgun are just, you know, fun. They're you know, stupid simple to tear apart and put back together, and they just work. It's a great platform. So I enjoy shooting it. I enjoy casting the bullets. That's part of the hobby for me, is to start from that little bit lower level than buying bullets and you know, designing the round for that particular gun, and then going to the range and having the bullets actually go where you tell them to go. So the cast bullet thing is another piece of that picture that I enjoy doing. So that's where that's coming from. It's just kind of after 40 years of messing around with all of these different types of bullets, I said, well, let's put it all together in one pot and see what we come up with here. So when you first started reloading, how old were you when you first started reloading? I can tell you exactly how old I was. I was 27 years old, and which is kind of old compared to some of the other old timers that I know that have been in this game for a long time. And that when I was 27 was 1975. And where I was at that point is I had been cowboying and doing mostly groundwork and fixing fences and shooting horses. And I was an AI technician for Curtis, which is artificial insemination of dairy cattle, doing just groundwork, if you're familiar with the term, all right? Yeah. And I was starting to figure, I don't want to make a living with my back anymore. I've done that. So I went back to school and became a vocational agriculture teacher. And I found a job out in the literal middle of nowhere, which space like that in California, which is where I am, guys, is kind of hard to find, but that's where I was. I was 50 miles from the nearest grocery store. Wow. And at the time, so it was also 50 miles to the nearest gun shop to go get ammo. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this. And after I got out there and I got started in this job at this little small remote high school, we only had 100 kids in the high school. You know, kids won't write their names on the walls because you recognize their handwriting, right? So it was a kind of a good environment, everybody. But the county sheriff needed more bodies at the time. We had a resident post out there with one deputy. And they came and said, hey, we could use somebody part-time. Are you interested? And at first I said no. And because I was busy, it was my really first year at a job where I had to actually be there at a certain time and stay till a certain time and wear certain kind of clothes. And, you know, and it wasn't going to be Levi's and a bandana. No. So I said, I don't know, come talk to me in a couple months after I, you know, get past this first 6 months, because I had like $5 in my pocket when I started out. Oh my gosh. I didn't know it was, you know, anyway, long story short there, I went through the academy and became a part-time deputy out there. And so you needed to carry a backup firearm. The issued firearm was a Smith & Wesson Model 39, worn out, short chamber, lousy magazine POS firearm. I hated that gun. I hated that thing. And half of our calls out there were, we have a highway that connects two parts of the state, the Central Valley to the coast, that went right through my area. So we had a lot of traffic calls, but a lot of it was stuff like Angus Bull versus Honda Civic, and the Civic lost, and the Angus Bull needed some help
Yeah.
finishing his life out, and you
Yeah.
weren't going to do it with a 9mm Smith & Wesson.
Right.
So you could carry as a backup weapon in those days anything that you could qualify with. So I had a Smith & Wesson 29 44 Magnum that I carried as my backup weapon.
My husband, just as a side note, just went, ooh.
Yeah. Well, and besides that, and this is old days, guys, this don't work this way anymore, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
But you could carry your backup weapon as your primary whenever your primary was broken or had to go to the armorer or had recalls, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So guess what? My Model 39, about 80% of the time, being a part-timer, I got the bottom of the barrel. And it was there was always an extractor that was broken, or the magazine feed lips were bent. If you stand on them long enough, that happens. And so I had that Model 29 a lot of the time, and I wanted to practice with a lot. The department would not issue 44 mag ammo, so you had to practice with your own, carry your own, buy your own. So long story short, again, started to reload for 44 mag. And shortly after that, I said, man, these bullets, back then there were 2 or 3 cents for a 240 grain
Oh my
for
gosh.
jacketed bullet, right? So that's way too much. I'm going to
Yeah.
start casting my own bullets for practice ammo. And so I started casting about the same time.
Yeah.
For 44 mag. So I had a one cavity Lyman 429 421 mold, for guys who know that. That's the one I started with, and a little cast iron pot that we heated up over a Coleman type gas stove, and cast my own bullets and lubed them up, loaded them up, and went shooting.
Wow.
So I could get good with that big old gun. So that's how I got started, and then it went uphill or downhill depending on your point of view from there.
Well, I mean, but really, how satisfying is it that not only are you able to do that, but now you can educate other people on how to do that too?
It is, and I don't really consider myself as an educator in that field. Just I try to promote this is another step in the process that you can undertake to increase your enjoyment of the shooting sports. To handcraft your ammo for a particular firearm for a particular job that you want that firearm to do, whether it's competition, just recreational target shooting, self-defense, whatever. And as you well know, Jenny, there's different ammo. Just like ask a golfer, hey, you just take one club out to the course? No. Why? Well, because different clubs, different jobs. Fishermen, all that kind of stuff. So reloading is a big piece of that, and then the bullet casting adds yet another layer to that process of creating your own ammo, to me. And it's just fun for me. It's not fun for everybody. It is time consuming, and right up there with your check is in the mail. Another one of the great lies of our time is you'll save money if you reload. Maybe not. You might, but it's just satisfying.
Well, and I think honestly, like, reloading gives you the opportunity to just be able to shoot more, if that's what you want to do.
More on the same nickel.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's it. And with the big plus being that your ammo is handcrafted for a particular firearm. You create rounds that fit that gun, that fit that chamber. You get your chronograph out and you find out, what load is going to work better than the factory ammo that you've been using, that's more consistent for muzzle velocity, and what's going to give you your best group down there. That's all part of the process, and it is a process. It is not magic. You don't go out and and get your Nosler or your Hornady or your RCBS or your Lyman book out and pick a load that's in there and it's all going to be magic and go into a quarter at 25 yards. It just doesn't happen that way. So it's fun to work towards those goals, though. And so it does take time, and there's no doubt about it.
Well, all right, Viejo, I hate to end this time, but my next guest is in the wings.
That was a fast 15 minutes.
I know. That every guest I've told them, I've said it's just 15 minutes, so it'll be fairly painless.
Yeah, right. Hey.
Some of my guests are nervous because they've never done this before. So, and I'm not going to say who, but everybody that sticks around to the end of the show will see at least one new face. So
there you go. She doesn't bite, guys. Just relax.
Yeah, exactly.
She's a good girl.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Viejo. Make sure you
folks.
go check out his channel too, and make sure you're liking and subscribing and all that stuff on his channel. So thank you so much, Walter. And I hope you have a great evening. And
thank you. And
make
congratulations on your first birthday, girl.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye. Bye. Folks in the side chat.
All right. So my next guest is, here we go. We have Alan with us tonight. Alan from Full Circle Reloading. You guys might remember we did talk to him way back, months and months and months ago. I think you had just had a baby, Alan.
Yeah, the baby, yep. Little bitty thing, couldn't hold his head up yet. Yeah,
Yes.
Wife had to sneak out because the other one was had to get rushed to the urgent care. So yeah, I had a little one for that one.
Yes, you did. Yep. I remember there was sickness going around in the house, and Alan was such a trooper. He held the baby, fed the baby, burped the baby, and talked to us about
dad life. You got to multitask. Yeah,
exactly. I know. And the more you get, the more kids you get, the more multitasking you're going to be doing. So it's just, and one of our very own, I don't know if you saw the top of the show, Alan, but one of our very own just had a baby. I don't know if he had the baby today, but he's in the hospital watching this show, and his wife just had the baby.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my wife would murder me.
I know. I was like, that's very dedicated. So
yeah.
So all right. So Alan, I want to get to you. First of all, we won't talk about the retail side yet of things.
Sure.
We'll save that for the very end of your 15 minutes. But tell me what's going on with you personally with your competition shooting and your videos. I know you're also in the process of making videos on behalf of Full Circle Reloading.
Yeah. So as far as competition goes, season just started. I haven't shot my first match yet. So dealing with the newborn baby. He's 8 months. So 8 months today. So
oh my gosh.
So he's still just a little guy. He's still pretty time consuming. So I'm getting everything spun up. I pulled the rifles. My match rifles have been on display at the shop. So they're back at home, getting everything spun up and ready to go. Be shooting the first match in April probably. Okay. And we're spinning up for the classes, which is the big thing right now. So we just posted our 3 PRS prep classes up, and we're filling up and getting rifles ready for that.
Wow! Oh my gosh! Okay, so I mean, how do you feel about shooting in the cold?
Oh, I love it. I will take a 0-degree day with snow before I shoot in 100 degrees. Last year pretty much did me in for the heat. I've got no desire to go out and sweat and burn myself on the barrels. So
yeah, I don't blame you. Well, and you and I actually, we've had the conversation. I'm gonna go. You're gonna take me long range shooting sometime, and we're gonna make a video. And I mean, I'm so excited for that. But I know this was right before it started getting cold when we talked about this. So we said, let's wait until we have a little bit nicer weather.
Yeah. So what I found especially new shooters taking them out, is that when it's super cold or super hot, it kind of ruins the experience for them. And so while I love shooting in the snow, most people don't. So we'll wait till it warms up. We'll get you out. Weather's starting to break now, so that's something me and you need to talk about and get you out in the range. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And like I actually just did, I haven't posted it yet, but I did do an AR video a couple of weeks ago that I recorded, and it was just a completely different beast for me, because I most of the rifles I've shot have been like, you know, little single shot, like old 22 rifles.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be different, but it's, you know, it's always good to branch out.
Oh,
And
you're on it.
speaking of shooting, I don't know if you realize this, but one of my colleagues at my job bought a gun from you. He bought the CR920.
Okay.
And he came to work and he said, "Hey, I just bought the CR920 up at Full Circle. Do you want to do a review on it?"
Okay.
So I was like, "Oh, cool. You know, who did you talk to?" And he was like, "Well, he's a younger guy, really nice." I said, "Is he like a competition shooter?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "That's the owner, Alan." And he was like, "Oh, he knows so much." And I said, "Well, then I knew it wasn't Jesse, because Jesse is, you know,
He's IT. Yeah.
he's still learning." Exactly.
Yeah, so we actually brought Jesse in to run the background. So his job is running inventory management, taking care of the website, dealing with that side of things. So unfortunately, with the business being as busy as it is, us being technically shorthanded, he's kind of getting thrown on the counter a lot more than he'd like. But
yeah,
he's getting there.
He does well with it, because if he doesn't know, he smiles and nods and says, "Let me go find out."
Yep.
So, okay, we had a conversation a few weeks ago about you were going to make some videos, some instructional videos. I was trying to remember, what was the price that you were quoted for that? It was a per arable minute.
$2,500 a finished minute.
Per finished minute, 2,500. So as I'm doing all my own editing, every time I'm doing all my own editing now, and I'm thinking about that quote, $2,500 per finished minute.
Yeah.
I am not paying myself enough.
Yeah, and doing the editing for the videos. So we're running a little bit behind with SHOT Show. The plan was to start dropping the videos after SHOT Show, but we've been slammed since I got back. So I haven't been spending as much time doing the editing as I'd like. So we're a little bit behind schedule. But yeah, the editing makes you want to pound your head on the wall. It's the worst part about doing these videos.
Yep, it definitely is. Definitely. So okay, speaking of SHOT Show, I haven't gotten to talk to you since you got back from SHOT Show. So how was it?
There wasn't a whole lot new to report, actually.
Really?
I mean, overall, there was a lot of things being upgraded. There was a lot of additions to stuff that was already existed or that were released last year. But as far as brand new products coming out, there wasn't a whole lot to report. It seems like there was a lot of new optics related stuff. And it seems like everybody, including the traditional AR markets, were stepping into the bolt gun side of things. Which tells me that the precision rifle side is still strong and still growing despite the shortages that we've been struggling with over the last couple of years. So overall, it was a good trip for us. We got to make a lot of contacts, got a few new distributors under our belt, so we can open up a lot more. We're had a meeting with the company that does our website to fix some IT issues with our search algorithm, but it was good. It was a productive show.
Yeah, and exhausting.
It was exhausting. I walked 42 miles.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's 42 miles in 4 days. So by the end of it, I was ready to go home.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's, see, I don't know. Like it comes to a point where it's like, okay, you go wanting to have fun.
Yeah.
At some point it becomes work.
Yeah. Even, I mean, you want to ooh and ah, but when you go there as a company, which is what a lot of the people who are there, I mean, they're there to work. And so you're there to shake hands and make contacts and discuss products and figure out how that product is going to make money on your wall. So it's work. We went last year and the first couple of days were fun. I was not necessarily looking forward to it this year. So it's work. I think going there in a non-work capacity, like just going, not work, just wander around and play with some cool stuff. I think SHOT Show would be a lot more fun.
Yeah. Now, have you ever gone out to like range day? Have you ever gotten to do that?
No. So last year I didn't know range day was a thing. It was my first SHOT Show. This year I thought that it was on a Tuesday. I thought that it started when SHOT Show starts. I didn't realize it starts the day before SHOT Show starts.
Oh wow.
So with us being a new company, SHOT Show's new to us, so we still have some things to figure out. So next year we'll be going down 2 days early. We're gonna do the range day, and we're probably gonna stay the whole week. We'll get all of our work knocked out the first couple of days and head home early.
Okay, so I'll go with you next year.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to go, like, Jim and I want to go, but it's like, oh, it's so many people and it's so hot, and the whole we want to go and have fun and enjoy it, but I don't know, like, I don't know how I feel about range day, just because a lot of people say you have to like wait a long time to shoot only a little bit, and
it's not your stereotypical like fun range day. You're not going to go out and spend 8 hours shooting. You're going to spend 7 hours waiting and 30 minutes shooting. So it's really just a demo of product. So they give you a little snippet. You get to spend 2, 3, 4 minutes playing around with the product, and then that's it. You're moving to the next product.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of. But I did get to see some of the pamphlets that came back from SHOT Show, just from Les out at Gateway, and there are definitely some beautiful products out there, and
it's pretty. You can spend $100,000 pretty easy out there.
Yeah, no kidding. Some of the I was actually surprised. I have a little bit of a weakness for pretty knives. And you don't think about going to a gun show, seeing a lot of knife manufacturers, but
there's a lot more there. There's backpack manufacturers and hunting stuff, and it's not just about shooting sports. I mean, it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, Alan, I thank you so much for getting on with us. And, I'm not gonna grill you about numbers of, where are the primers?
Primers are still going to loaded ammo, and that was something else that we learned at SHOT Show, and we made a few new contacts. We've actually found out where a lot of stuff is going, and it turns out that a lot of it's being seized, temporarily seized in production for the war effort. I found out that IMR powders are made in an old 105 millimeter artillery facility, and we don't really use 105s in the U.S. anymore, but Ukraine does. And so the military contracts took precedent. They actually shut the facility down to make 105s.
God!
That's why IMR powder's been so hard to get. And then with Alliant having all their contracts, that's where all that's going. And then primers are still going into loaded ammo, which is still really, really tough to keep on the shelf. I mean, I think slowing down, but we are still busier than ever.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And I mean, every time we come in to see you guys, there are lots and lots of people there, but we love Full Circle Reloading. It's, you guys are our families.
Yeah, we're doing our best. And there's a lot of people, especially with the shortages, we're getting the opportunity to meet a lot of people who don't traditionally come to our shop. And so we've gotten the opportunity to win a lot of people over. Yeah,
exactly. Now it's awesome. And you guys are, you guys have grown by leaps and bounds already just in the last year that I've been coming in. So, so it's awesome to see you guys growing like that. But all right. Well, Alan, enjoy your dad time the rest of your Saturday evening. And thank you so much for hopping on here, and also for coming back after you came last night.
Yeah, it was a scheduling conflict, it turns out. Right, wrote it down on the wrong day. So it is what it is.
Oh, well, it was good practice for you, right?
Yeah.
All right, Alan. Well, we'll be in probably sometime this next week to see you guys. And, thank you so much for hopping on tonight.
All right. Thanks, Jenny. Happy birthday.
All right. Thank you. All right, guys. So our next guest is here. You will recognize him. This is Trevor Cotter, or, Bangin Brass, if you want to go check him out on Instagram, YouTube, wherever you want to get your needs filled, right? So Trevor, thank you so much for coming on. I haven't gotten to talk to you in, it seems like, forever.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So what's new with you? What's going on?
Well, just still shooting matches, still just traveling the world and shooting guns for
Yeah.
some weird reason. That seems to be what people would pay me for, you know?
Well, okay. So, do you have a season?
Yeah, we have a season.
Okay.
The question is, do we have an off season? That's the,
Yeah.
but typically the matches start into February and go till usually middle of November. And then
Okay.
we get middle of November to late January to kind of have an off season. But with COVID, it kind of, for some reason, there was a lot of matches that got canceled that have just been flooded in the next 4 years.
Oh,
So
wow.
some of them are getting pushed into, like, I think I got back from my last match in 2022, middle of December from
Okay.
Thailand, from the World
Oh my
Shoot.
gosh.
And then left for my first major match second weekend of January. So I had basically Christmas break.
Oh my gosh. So you didn't go to SHOT Show then?
I did go to SHOT Show.
You did? Okay. So, I mean, okay.
I've been to the last 3 or 4 of them. No, not a whole lot, actually.
Oh my gosh.
In fact, my wife was out with some friends last night, and she's like, all right, babe, we're just going to grab dinner, have a couple drinks, and then I'll be home. We can watch, our shows and, cuddle. And I'm like, oh, great. She gets home, and I'm like, already asleep. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, honey, this is the first night I've been able to relax and like,
oh my gosh.
Take a chill. But
that's funny.
yeah, she was like, she woke me up this morning like, did you sleep good? Because you slept for 13 hours. Like,
oh my god. Did you seriously sleep for 13 hours?
No. I think I slept for probably, I don't know, I was up at 6 o'clock.
Oh my god.
Probably 8 hours. 8 hours is a lot for me though.
Yeah, I understand. I usually sleep from about 10 at night to 4 in the morning. So 6 hours is, about my
solid sleep.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. So have you been reloading?
I have. Unfortunately, none of the big ammo manufacturers like to sponsor shooters. So I have component sponsors who are lovely. They send me all my stuff, but I still have to pull the handle. Well, I say that I press a button. I have an automated reloader, but so I got to push a button and I got to look real hard.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Every once in a while, you might want to gauge some of your rounds, right?
Nah.
Yeah,
Nah. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Shoot an Atlas. We throw them out and it just drops right in. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
I do. The problem is with when I used to pull a handle,
right?
It was easy. You crank out 1,000, and for match ammo, I'd crank out 100 because that's how long the primer stack is. Yep. Case gauge that 100 and then put them in my my bag. But now with this automated press, it just keeps running. So now I'm like hurrying up, trying to fill the case gauge, checking them like, okay, it's good. Bam. So every now and again, I'll slip a bat around in there, not paying attention. But
oh my gosh. Yeah. You pick up a handful and you're like, yeah, these feel fine.
I don't feel any lumps. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw it in there.
Oh my gosh. Well, my dad had some ammo that he had bought from a gun show from a guy that reloaded some, and he took it and put it in his gun, realized it was actually the wrong caliber. He had a 38. He thought it was a 38 special. It was a 38 Smith & Wesson. So they didn't fit in his gun. And so he said, well, you guys have, you've got 357s. So do you want my 38s? So we took his 38s and we were like, okay, took them out to the range to shoot them. They wouldn't feed into our cylinder either. And so we were like, something's not right here. So we bring them home, get the old gauge out, and lo and behold, they won't even go in the case gauge. So somebody did not do their due diligence.
Yeah, that's the issue with buying reloaded ammo that wasn't reloaded by somebody you trust.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of times we'll have people that'll say, hey, can you reload for us? And it's like, no, we reload for ourselves. I feel like that's the only responsible way to do it.
Yeah.
It's just
I made that mistake one time.
You shot somebody else's reloads?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One
And
time.
one time.
Yeah.
That didn't go well?
No, it was during a major match.
Oh.
My ammo was, I can't remember what happened. Maybe it, it got confiscated or something. I don't remember. But I used somebody else's ammo. And halfway through the match, I split my barrel from comp to breech face.
Oh.
Yeah, we're shooting
What?
quick. We're shooting quick,
Yeah.
Well, I had a squib at
Oh my gosh.
maximum speed, just bam, and just
Oh.
I saw a fan of white smoke, and the gun was locked backwards, and I'm like, oh my god,
Oh.
there's no way this just happened. So I look at.
Did you pee your pants?
No, it happened so quick. It happened like bam. I mean,
Yeah.
and it was, and I'm already. I mean, I'm shooting 9mm major of an Atlas open gun, and I'm cranking off splits, just and it just happened like that.
Oh my gosh.
Locked the gun back, right? So I couldn't get it apart.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what just happened? I look and I can see that it's just destroyed, and I'm like, oh no. And keep in mind, I shoot for a gun company, so.
Right.
These guns were free to me.
Yeah.
But blowing one up and being like, hey, man, you want to send me another $8,500 open gun? Because I just blew this one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, oh no. So I'm on the safety table and I clear it, right? I had to hammer the slide forward to get the pin out. And then hammer it the rest of the way forward and was able to get the barrel out. And the barrel was smoked. And it's actually in a shadow box at the Atlas headquarters.
Oh, I was going to ask if you kept it. Okay.
No, they did. And so I inspect I'm still at the safety table. I inspect the frame and the slide, and it's all good. So I call Adam, the owner. I'm like, hey, are you in a good mood? He's like, well, I'm on my boat drinking. Yeah, I'm in a great mood. Are you about to take that away from me? And I'm like, I blew up my open gun. Bye.
Oh. Oh yeah, by the way. Okay, bye.
And he's like, it's all good. Like, just send it in. We'll handle it Monday. And then I send it. Luckily, they had a new barrel fitted. I had it back Thursday. Good service.
Wow.
But my buddy who loaded the ammo was there.
Oh my gosh.
And he owns a small ammo business. And so I never said the name, never.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who it is, but he felt so bad. He was like, bro, let me know how much. He called me after the match, bro, let me know how much that is. I'll fix it, whatever. I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. But from then on, I was like, no more reloaded ammo that I didn't reload or somebody I know reloaded it. Like, I'll let Supervel, Mike Stoker, I'll let him load my ammo, but he owns a big ammo manufacturer,
Right, exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, thank goodness you weren't hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have always been worse, right?
I've seen with these open guns, I've seen somebody send one behind a squib and I've seen the whole gun just explode.
Oh, yeah.
And people get pieces into their face and it's gnarly.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that's why you should always wear shooting glasses, people.
Always.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. I want to know what handgun you're shooting this season.
I am still shooting the Atlas Gunworks Chaos version 2.
Okay.
Which is a 2011. It's a custom 2011 in 9mm major. And I'm also going to dabble with an Atlas Athena, which is a slide ride 4.25 or 4.6 inch 2011 optics for limited optics, which is a new division coming out.
Okay.
So now 9mm 2011s will be allowed to compete in USPSA without a disadvantage. So that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that's really cool. So are you feeling good?
I'm feeling really good. I've shot 2 or 3 majors and I've top 5 in all of them in my division.
Good.
And I've been somewhere in the top 10 for the overall. So I've shot really well. And those were pretty big matches. So we'll see. I'm feeling good, just kind of building, getting ready for nationals because
Yeah.
You got to qualify for the World Shoot team, and
Yeah.
you got to win to make it.
And so when are nationals?
Nationals are in October.
Okay.
September, October. I got to look because usually it's October, but I think they moved it for this year.
Okay.
But now we have USPSA nationals and IPSC nationals. I have to shoot both of them.
Yeah.
And this year's 2 nationals and next year's 2 nationals are qualifiers to be on the World Shoot team to represent the US, which is like our Olympics.
Yeah.
Because it happens every 3 years. So
Oh my gosh.
these 4 nationals coming up are huge because anytime it's the World Shoot year, it's even if you don't win, you got to be in the top 5 or you're not going to make it.
Yeah. Well, so tell me about where can people find you on social media?
So on pretty much everything, it's just Bangin_brass, BANGIN_BRASS.
Yes.
Pretty simple. On YouTube, it's the same thing. TikTok, all the cool kid apps. I don't have Snapchat. I'm not that young.
Yeah. Now, do you ever have trouble with TikTok?
Oh my God. TikTok is my nightmare.
Mine too. I have like 50% of my videos have been taken down because I violate community guidelines. Whatever.
In my first 3 days on TikTok, I gained 24,000 followers.
Oh my gosh.
Just blew up. I just downloaded the app, posted some videos of me shooting, and bam, it took off. And I was getting millions of views. I was like, oh my God, I'm TikTok famous, I know those people. And then woof, TikTok was like, nope. And in the year and a half since then, I have gained 2,000 more followers.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that funny? See, mine was not to that scale, but mine went really fast too. And I thought TikTok is going to be where it's at for me. And then all of a sudden TikTok is like, we don't like that video or that video or that video. Now, what's funny is they took down one of I had a 22, like a historic 22 single shot rifle. And my thumbnail is me standing there holding it, right? And so then I did one that got a lot of views, and then I did one like 2 weeks later, and almost identical gun, almost identical thumbnail, almost identical content, and they took that one down. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I mean, they'll leave some up, they take some down, and
they moderate views.
Yes, and when you appeal, they don't give you the opportunity to try to justify why they should. I don't
ask
know.
for an appeal, but don't give us the reason you're appealing.
Exactly.
And we'll decide if we messed up.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I get so worked up on.
I used to get so frustrated because I would put, even today, if you go on my TikTok and you look at my videos, to this day, I'll post a video and it'll get 500,000, 1 million views.
Yeah.
And then the next 19 videos will get 100 views. I have 26,000 followers. How do 100 people see it?
Yeah, I don't know.
And the video will go 500,000 to 1 million, like bam, in an hour. And then it shuts off and it never does anymore. So it was going viral and they reviewed it and were like, press pause.
We don't want people to see that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, come on.
I know.
I'm trying to be famous.
Well, you know what? We're gonna help you get there because I know everybody in this little birthday party tonight, they're gonna come over and they're gonna check you out if they haven't already. So
I need YouTube subscribers, man. Everything else is doing great. YouTube hates me. I've lost 3 accounts already.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
I'm on my 3rd account and had to re-upload all my podcast stuff. Yeah, they hate me. So I got like 300 subscribers, so I can't even go live. I'm like, give me the followers back.
Wow.
They hate the gun world, man. It's crazy.
Oh, I know. And you have to, and they're always coming up with new rules. Oh, well, we don't want you to show this. And it's like,
yeah. They see me holding up my open guns and they're like, alien guns illegal, bam! And they're like, that's got to be a fully semi-automatic suppressed 50 cal right there.
Exactly,
they hit the delete button on your stuff.
Oh my gosh, I know. It's so frustrating, but it's all part of the game, right? I mean, That's what it is. I see ME is saying TikTok is a Chinese spy app. Well, that's true. And we know how they manage their balloons. So
Yeah. That's honestly, that's the only reason I stay on TikTok is because I know the Chinese are watching. And when
yeah.
they see me just cranking away, training for an invasion
Yeah.
to just go, just mowing people down. That's why I'm doing it. So they look at it and go, oh man, you know what? We'll delay this attack a little bit. You know?
I
Just
know.
keep it proud. Enough of us out there. We'll keep them at bay.
That's right. We're gonna keep at it.
Yep.
All right. Well, Trevor, thank you so much for hopping on tonight and celebrating the birthday. And
yeah, this is awesome. Thank you for having me. When you told me, I was like, "Word, you want me back on there? Hell yeah!"
No, we love you on our show. Oh my gosh, no, you honestly, I have gone back and looked, and I don't know if you've paid any attention, but your live still gets views to this day that you did with me. So I mean, that one is constantly going up, and I'm like, people love Trevor Cotter. So
I don't know why. You guys have such terrible taste. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Golly.
Hey, you know, whatever it takes, as long as the numbers are there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares?
That's all that matters.
Yeah. All right. Well, Trevor, thank you so much for being on here. And, you know, we'll have to catch up again soon and see how your season is going for you. Sometime
absolutely.
You can, you know, in your just one night, you only need to sleep maybe 4 hours and you can do a live with us.
I got you. I'll make time.
All right. All right, Trevor. Well, thank you so much. I am going to let my next guest in pretty soon here. But before we do that, I have my last drawing. I'm going to do, or my last contest I'm going to do.
Uh-oh.
And okay, so I want to know, what was the second animal I shot in my safari video? So,
Are you asking me?
No, this is a contest so people are going to comment over in the side chat and they're going to tell me.
I'm going to guess. I'm going to say a white rhino, and it was to harvest its horn for profit.
How did you know?
Was I close?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, you're not close.
Dang it.
And my next guest has never done a live before, and I'm texting with him. He has not. He says he's on, and I'm like, no, you're not on yet. He's not there. So Trevor, I guess you just have to fill out the show until he shows up.
Listen, you know, it's hard work, but you know what? I'm in.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, I know somebody over in the side chat keeps saying that now he got it figured out. Somebody in the side chat keeps saying that they want a 4-hour live, and I'm like, no, nobody wants to watch this for 4 hours.
I'm so notorious for that. That's why they're saying it.
Oh my gosh.
My podcasts have gone 4 hours on multiple occasions.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and there's some of my most viewed podcasts, and the average listen time is like 3 hours and 30 minutes. And I just respond to everyone who comments on those saying they enjoyed it with, "Do you have a life?"
Yeah.
Because I would not even sit and listen to me for 4 hours, and I love me. This is crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right, well, Trevor, I'm gonna tell you goodbye and thank you so much. And I have my next guest.
Thank you.
Who is on, and I am gonna let him in. You guys are gonna love this. This is the cherry on top. So this is somebody you've all been waiting to hear from. And welcome to the Jenny J 1911 live, Les from Gateway.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Who is that handsome man?
Oh, now Jim just asked, who is that handsome man? Oh my gosh. So, okay.
Wait a minute.
So
I took some notes, and before he leaves, I'm hoping he's watching. I'm glad to have made Trevor as a new best friend. The man touches Atlas Gunworks. all day long,
Yeah.
I will load for him. I'm very, very careful, and I will sponsor him. So we can end that problem. And I want to thank Trevor for elevating my biggest fear of a squib load with that story.
Oh my gosh, I know. Isn't that just, it's crazy, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Now, okay, so we've got all these people over here in the comments. Now Michael Dunn just said no one beats Uncle Jim's lives. So I don't know, Les, you have big shoes to fill, but everybody else is saying welcome, Les. Good to meet you, Les. And D Luddit, one of your customers and one of my subscribers, is on, and he says, hey, Les. So
almost scored for him today.
You did what? Oh, you
scored for him today. He'll know what I mean.
Really?
But he can just keep his fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right. So Les, I want to know, Affordable Armory just guessed giraffe. Affordable Armory, you win. So Affordable Armory, you won another cup. Because my last winner took the last hat. So Affordable Armory, well, now you have one for the dishwasher and one for the nightstand, and you can trade them back and forth. So congratulations, Affordable Armory. I already have your address. You don't even need to email that to me. But all right. So Les, everybody is dying to meet the man behind this gun collection that Jenny J 1911 keeps shooting. And so here he is, everybody. So if you have a question,
just a few, it's not a big collection. Just a few. Just happen to have hit on the few I own.
And most of them are in the bottom of the lake anyway, right? So, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. So anybody that has a question for Less is More, drop it over in the side chat and we will wade through those. But Les, tell me, what is your favorite gun to shoot that you have? One that you have, that you own.
I think I saw one of your guests answer that there's no way to just name one. I can tell you by caliber. In the 9, first of all, I'm a 1911 guy, so everything else is kind of a pale shadow, except for the higher end CZ type guns. I've got a couple of EAA Witness Match Elites in a couple of different categories, but the 1911s and now the 2011s and the whole Bull Armory situation that's going on. Although if Trevor has any rusty Atlas guns that he no longer uses and are taking up space, I will volunteer to clean them and take good care of them.
Yeah, we'll make sure that Trevor has the address to the Gateway and the FFL at Gateway,
and he can practice there for free. Anything. Yeah. One in particular is the Sig Sauer P220 in 45. Is a favorite of mine. Believe it or not, one of the first guns I ever bought, the Ruger P90 in 45. Really? It's just such an ugly tank of a gun, but shoots so well, and it's so different from most others in how it takes down and operates. Yeah. But all the 1911s, and I started with Rock Island and, made it up to SIG and Remington, and then, dabbled in the STI and Wilson. But now these Bull Armory ones they just make you giggle all day long.
They make you giggle, or they make me giggle?
Anybody who touches them.
Yeah, exactly.
We let people at the store rack the slides, and they just grin from ear to ear.
I know, exactly. I mean, well, I think we even saw D Luddit do the same thing, right? So,
yep.
We are witness to many people racking those slides, and then they're like, "Oh, who is this again? Like, who is this manufacturer? Where have they been?"
Yeah.
And nobody knows they've been around for over 25 years.
I like Glocks only for the reason that I had the good fortune to become a certified Glock armor. And they're not the most entertaining guns to shoot, but I love taking them apart all the way down and putting them all the way back together. I wish I could do that with a 1911. But as far as working on Glocks and knowing them so well, so I enjoy that. But just the whole 1911 category is pretty much and my favorite round is probably 38 Super, 45 overall, but after that 38 Super.
Yeah. And I know you've let me shoot some of your 38 Supers, and they've been great. It's a very fun caliber to shoot. So now, okay, Les, I want you to get in your time machine and go back, and I want you to tell me, when did you first start shooting? How did you get into guns?
Well, believe it or not, the first time I shot was at the previous version of Gateway Gun Club, when it used to be called Winchester Gun Club and was only outdoor skeet and trap shooting. When I was 12 or 13, I got a birthday present in the form of a 20 gauge shotgun. And I was going on a hunting trip with my dad and his law partner. And so they took me out to Winchester Gun Club to try out the gun, do some skeet shooting, trap shooting. And so that's when I shot. And, kind of like the first time I saw a motorcycle, I was just, the bug bit me. And so that's when I started, but it was only rifles and shotguns at that point in time. Once I got back to St. Louis after law school, and I don't know, I guess I ran into some people that were shooting, or one of the guys I work with had a 357 Magnum Smith & Wesson that he let me borrow or told me about. And so I looked up a gun range. There was one in the city of St. Louis, went there, and two young men, the two sons of the owner were working at the place. And I just hit it off with them. And my wife and I bought our first two guns, but I think it was quickly four, because we had to have the home security. We each had to have one, and then I couldn't decide between two, so I got both of them. And that takes me back to that Ruger P90, Ruger P89, a Ruger GPNY revolver in 38. I don't think it was 357. I think it was 38 only, and a Norinco 1911. And the Norinco 1911 was cool because it was thereafter banned by Clinton during that time. Yeah. So that the 12, 13 for the rifle shotguns, and then I guess I don't know how old I was when we started shooting. Probably about 28, 29.
Wow. That kind of surprises me that you would wait that long to shoot a pistol.
Well, there was really no opportunity. I mean, there wasn't around here. There really wasn't too much shooting going on in the suburbs, at least. And there weren't many ranges at that time. So once I got back to St. Louis, which would have been 88, that's when I found out about some gun ranges and gun shows. I became addicted to gun shows. And you couldn't do it under 21. So, I mean, I was probably just, 24, 25 at the time. Yeah.
So how old were you when you started reloading then?
That was about 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So once I got affiliated with some of the people out at Gateway and learned about that, it's just the perfect hobby for a person who's a little obsessive compulsive. And in high stress work, it also is a very relaxing, brain numbing hobby.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, I mean, I don't know, I will attest to the fact, or I firmly believe that it's it's just relaxing. And, Jim and I, that's something we do together. And one person may be pulling the handle, but we're both down here in the shop doing it together. The other might be, gauging cases or whatever. And, we just chat and hang out. And when you have two people doing it and just relaxing, it's even more fun. So now, have you been able to get your wife into reloading?
No, no. She wonderfully enough though loves to decorate the house. And once both kids were out, my son Lou gone after college and my daughter at college, it was time for her to redo the basement. I never thought there was anything wrong with the house. Every time there's a project, I never think there's anything wrong. But this project focused on making a room for the loading and the guns, because otherwise my presses were just mixed in with the toys and the lousy furniture down there and like that. So she did orchestrate the construction of a very, very nice gun room, loading room. So
that's good. So she supports you. Plus, she went with you to SHOT Show.
Yes. Yep.
And
the funny thing about the loading too is when you're learning and you're watching all the videos, you always see these gentlemen loading, and they'll have like a daughter or a son come in the room and do something monotonous. And every time I tried that, no, kids weren't having anything to do with it.
Yeah. So tell me about SHOT Show.
It was my second year going this year. Last year was the kind of like what Alan was saying. That was my kid in a candy store opportunity or experience. Just seeing people from YouTube that were like there in person. Gun Jesus was probably the best celebrity that I saw and knew. The Terran Tactical Team too, almost got run over by them. And so it was, just eyes wide open. Now it was only at about half capacity because that was the first year they resumed after, I guess 2 years off or maybe 1 year off for COVID. Okay. Ironically, incidentally, my mother-in-law had been a speaker at SHOT Show on 2 previous occasions years ago. First, before she knew nothing about guns. And then second, after they came back and said, "Hey, Les, you're a gun guy. Teach us about guns." And then she got to go back as a gunner. So that was really interesting. But I never was able to schedule to go out with her. This year was going back more for business purposes. And after having learned the geography of the show, because it is immense. I'd been to the food show in Chicago, or the restaurant show in Chicago at McCormick Place, and that was big. And this dwarfs it. But I'd learned the geography of the show, and I knew to not necessarily spend as much time on the big floor with all the big booths, but get down in that basement because there's 4 times as many exhibits down in the basement. And for a small business like Gateway Gun Club, it's just the exhibitors. It's more practical to meet a lot of those exhibitors. Yeah. The big floor is fun. It's Hollywood, but the basement.
It's shiny and spectacular. But
Benchmade is up on the top floor. But then there's like 30 other knife manufacturers in the basement who, you can afford, and your customers can afford.
Right. Absolutely. Well, and I know you brought a lot of those pamphlets back from different places and, names that we wouldn't ordinarily hear of if we didn't have somebody going out and doing what you did and talking to them and getting down there in the basement with those people and learning about them and bringing them back to the store. So,
and I had more under my belt in the form of the business too. Because last year was my first year of doing the business. So now I had 2 years under my belt. And so I've come back and been a lot more productive as far as inking deals with some knife manufacturers. I've still got to get on a holster manufacturer because last year I met with 2 holster companies, but trying to stock a store with holsters, it's like if you had to stock a shoe store, but you only had one small wall for the quantity of shoes you needed to get. It's really difficult and it's hit or miss. You don't want inventory that's just going to sit there and not go anywhere.
No,
But,
and everybody has
nice
different
manufacturers, different gun distributors, because it's nice to meet the smaller dealers or go straight to the manufacturer sometimes instead of going through the major, clearinghouse distributors.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, so Les, you have a couple of kids. Do they both shoot?
Once. My son was great in Halo, and what's the other modern? I forget the other war one, which switched time periods. But was great at that. But when I took him to the range, I was impressed that the skills he developed with video games. He really had developed the ability for a line of sight and to come on target well. My daughter went with me one time. We had a great time. We've got a really nice picture of the experience. And I think the following Father's Day, I got a card that said, it was a handmade card, and it said that I was entitled to a free trip to the range with my daughter. I think I've tried to cash that in for the past 9 years, and I've been turned down each time, but I still have it, and I still try to cash it in.
Oh, geez. Well,
so
I mean, I guess the thought was there. I don't know. My gosh.
Maybe later on.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel about my kids. I mean, I've got one that likes to shoot and one that doesn't, and you just never know. I always have hopes that the one that doesn't like to shoot will come around and realize how much fun it is, and
right,
it's not scary.
it's all different. I mean, fishing, camping, all that stuff seems to have kind of gone by the wayside, with the younger generation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's pluses.
Yeah. So, okay. So Les, do you want to give anybody a hint as to what our next video is going to be that you're helping me with? What would be a good hint?
You're going to have to whisper it to me, I think.
So, that list you gave me the other day.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay to talk about it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was, I noticed in the, when you did the Star family, that you seemed most interested, or you had the most entertainment with the 380 round, which was the first time you shot.
Yeah.
So I then suggested, hey, I've always been a fan of 380. I have a number of firearms in 380 caliber. And if you want to do a 380 video, I can give you a list of what's available and you can pick from it. And just, explore, because in 380, there's a lot of different types of guns.
Right. Styles.
So,
definitely.
And if your viewers have, any 380s that they're fond of, throw them out.
Yeah, exactly.
That won't include things like the Ursa or LCP or other guns.
Well, there were definitely several on that list that, I know are definite must-haves that we'll be shooting. So I'm super excited for that. So we're probably going to do that sometime, I think, next weekend, right? So, yeah. So a video will be coming out in like a week and a half on that one.
Yeah, probably. You need to find a really good costume or theme music for that gun that Dennis gave you to do, because the viewers might fall asleep.
Yeah. Oh, poor Dennis. He's not even here to defend himself. Well, this is what he gets. Now, he's the only one. We've had Jolene on the show. We've had Jim on the show. Now we've had Les on the show. We have to get Dennis on the show. So we're going to have to bully him into doing it, I think.
It may be, but there might be reasons he's not, because there's been a rumor of witness protection programs and other stuff where it's just not maybe good to put him in front of a camera.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. All right. Well,
I wanted to throw something out.
MOCCW Firearms Training Dennis. He just asked, what gun is that?
It rhymes with Walter.
Yeah. Oh, poor Dennis. He is here to defend himself, so now we can pick on him.
It's not hot at SHOT Show. It was in the 30s this year out there. Now that was freak weather, but it generally at that time of the year it's only 50s and 60s.
Really?
And I don't have a YouTube channel, but I was interviewed by France 24, who tried to spin it into an anti-gun thing.
Yeah.
So if everybody wants to look up the France 24 gun violence in Missouri, they can watch that.
And they can make sure and comment to Miss France's narrative of this, and they can they can comment and let her know how accurate she was with her portrayal of gun violence in America.
And Viejo needs to be careful if these videos are going to get taken down when he brings up the artificial insemination.
Yeah. Oh, that would be bad. Oh yeah. Now Dennis is defending his big bottom girl. So, oh boy. All right. Well, Les. Now, see, Les, this wasn't very painful, right?
No, but I took medicine.
That's just Coke in his glass. It's just
Let
Coca-Cola.
Everybody know if I can help them at Gateway. They're welcome to call me or email me.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dennis is Jim is defending Dennis right now. He says, I like the big bottomed girl. So
I don't know if that has anything to do with Dennis.
No, I don't think so. So, well, Les, I do really appreciate everything. You've been not just tonight in your, half hour of fame now being on the Jenny J show, but you've been a great friend to Jenny J and to Mr. Jenny J. And we really appreciate you helping us out so much out at Gateway and, just giving us some creative ideas and, letting us come out and shoot early or after hours or whatever, so we can make videos for everybody out there. And, we could not be doing what we're doing without you guys. So,
well, you're very welcome. And it is, it's very good for this community in what you're doing. And I got to say, for you as a YouTuber in this area, one of the things that I like most is perhaps it's your teaching background, but your skill at research and then the information you're able to give once you're back in the studio separates you from a lot of the gunners out there that can spend 45 minutes shooting and taking down a gun and putting it back together. I learn a lot more just, listening to what you have to say about most of the guns you interview without you having to put a hand on it and take anything apart. There's plenty of videos out there for that. So I commend you and then there's Jim's camera work, which just goes without saying.
With his rusty tin. I know.
Did your viewers say anything about how cool it was to finally see a target in real time when you were shooting it?
No, I don't think they have. I don't think anybody
had to have enjoyed that as much as me, because it is fun watching you giggle and the smile erupt when you shoot well, but also watching that target in real time was, I was really glad Jim got that together.
Yeah, me too. It's
Do your viewers know you shot one of the cameras?
Well, I didn't actually shoot it. It was the shrapnel from the target, and it came back and it cracked the case of the GoPro. Yeah, it didn't actually crack the GoPro. It just was the case of the GoPro. So now we just don't have the GoPro in the case, and we're living on the edge. So, all right. Well, Les, thank you so much. And your wife can have you back now. And hopefully we'll be able to get you on again for live. I think, people over here are commenting. Cowboy Jeff said Les is great at live shows. So see, there you go.
As long as the fans are okay, I never would have imagined that.
Yeah.
When I spoke in the past, most people did not like hearing what I had to say because they were usually losing because of what I said.
Yeah. Well, I think that the Jenny J subscribers love less is more. So you're good. You're good. And I also see Dennis's comment. He says he can hear Jim laughing in the background. So, all right.
Oh,
Well,
something else.
Yeah.
To put you up on a stool, the fact that you've got Dennis and I still awake at 9:30 at night, that is saying a lot to you and your fans.
Hey,
we were both afraid that we may not make it until this live show.
Well, you know what? Then that's really cool. So now you guys can go turn into pumpkins or do whatever you need to do, and Dennis can say his bedtime prayers, and
you got to do a live at Gateway.
Yeah, that'd be cool, but we can't show any of the guns.
Oh, you can't shoot live and come back on camera?
No.
All right.
I know. It would be cool.
We could disguise the place.
Huh? We could disguise
the place. Make it look like you're looking for ghosts.
Exactly. All right. Well, all right, Les, thank you so much for being on. And thank you to everybody here. Now, Les, I'm going to tell you how this works because you've never done it before. So you actually have to wait as my final guest on for the night. You have to just hang out here, and then I'll talk to you after I tell everybody else goodbye. So, so thank you to everybody who has tuned in tonight. Please make sure you hit like on this video. If you haven't subscribed yet to Jenny J 1911, make sure you do that too. And I hope that everybody has a great rest of their weekend. Happy 19th birthday to my daughter, Kira. Today's her birthday. So just wanted to give her a little shout out too. But enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I look forward to talking to you all again soon.
Wait, one more favor. Give Trevor my phone number, my address, my email address, and any other way he can easily contact me.
I will absolutely do that. All right. Good night, Jenny J viewers. I'll talk to you soon. All right. Now, Les, you just wait.